Winter is coming. I feel it in the economy the most. President Geingob recently delivered his State of the Nation address for this, the Year of Accountability. We asked the Institute of Public Policy Research's Director, Hopwood, to unpack this year's SONA for us.
The SONA this year was more of a holding operation. I think the President would have liked to have had a more ambitious SONA with announcements of new projects and new directions, but I think the economic situation and the government's fiscal situation makes it very difficult. So he couldn't announce any new initiatives that would cost a lot of money because we simply don't have the money. So I think that limited him to what he could say, really. And so, you know, the only really interesting or exciting potentially element for us was the commitment to introducing an access to information bill this year. And then, of course, the suggestion that the political office bearers take a 2% salary cut was, I think, welcome in the sense that the top level of government needs to show some restraint in the current situation and sort of lead by example. Although, you know, from the reaction of the leader of the opposition in Parliament, it didn't seem like there'd been enough consultation on that issue. It wasn't clear to me that everybody had bought into that issue, but at least that will save some money, and as I say, it's a symbolic sort of sign of some commitment from the political class.
The Institute of Public Policy Research's Director, Hopwood, unpacked this year's SONA for us, and whilst the President gave a rather positive outlook on the country's successes, there were many issues that remain unaddressed.
Who are really suffering now with so many, you know, nearly 2 years now of recession, so more than 2 years. So, you know, it was one sign, but on the whole, you know, I think it was there was a lack of excitement about the SONA, as I say, partly caused by the fiscal situation. But on the other hand, I think the year of accountability was obviously his theme, and what he said about that was he spent quite a bit of the speech talking about accountability and transparency. But on the other hand, you know, the elements that he spoke about were not very convincing. So he always says that transparency and accountability equals trust. I mean, that's his saying, but you know, it's difficult to see how it's working in practice. One of the parts of that was that the way he has dealt with the allegations of corruption against his ministers. So there were 3 ministers. The Minister of Works, the Minister, the head of the National Planning Commission, and the former Attorney General, as they were accused, you know, at the beginning of last year. But we never got the details of what that was about. And he now says it's cleared up and concluded by the Anti-Corruption Commission. But, you know, for the public, we never knew what the charges or the allegations were. That was never said. And then the ACC has made it clear, you know, that basically they only got the letters of explanation from the ministers. They didn't actually mount a proper investigation.